First of all, 2 games into the new season, how do you reflect on what's gone on so far?
Yeah, it's been an interesting and lively few games. Obviously, I think if you look at the top end of the pitch and the goals scored, obviously it's something to be really pleased about. But then obviously goals against is something we just need to nip in the bud. Really, it was a bit different on Saturday. Obviously, going 4-0 up, we took off the gas a little bit. It is difficult not to, but that's a little mindset that we need to just keep on top of because we don't want that to creep in. But I think overall we've got to be really pleased. 6 points from the first 2 games was the aim, and that's all we've got.
Is the goals conceded something that you've spoken about as a group then in these first 2 games?
Yeah, it is. It's something that obviously we want to stop, and I think it's the message has been quite important in terms of it's not the back four, it's not the anything in terms of individuals. It's as a collective. I think we have been quite aggressive in terms of our press at the top end of the pitch in the first 2 games, and that does leave us a tiny bit open at the back. But yeah, it's definitely something that we want to eradicate. You don't want to have to. It's going to be impossible to score 3 or 4 goals every single game. So if we win 1-0 every now and then, that's going to be absolutely perfect. And there's going to be a lot of games where we'll have to do that. So yeah, it's something we've spoken about and something that we'll be working hard to try and eradicate.
I know it's only 2 games into the new season, but what have you made of the standard of the National League so far?
Yeah, it's been really impressive. I think obviously for myself, I'd not seen many games at this level, and I think even myself coming in and training, it was a bit of a shock to me how good the level was. To be honest, that's no disrespect to the lads or anything, but obviously dropping down 2 leagues, it was yeah, it wasn't necessarily something I was expecting. And then the 2 games as well, I think there's been some real quality in the games. They've obviously been a really high pace end to end games, and yeah, it's been something that not necessarily shocked me all round, but I think the quality individuals and some of the bits of play in certain games and certain areas of the pitch has been really impressive.
Yeah, I think when people think of non-league football, they always think of sort of the long ball game and the physicality of it. But have you been sort of surprised a little bit by the how technical it is as well?
Definitely. I think like you said, the non-league has changed a lot over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, and like you said, I think the game in general throughout the country has changed. And like you said, the 2 teams that we've played at the start of the season have both tried to play out from the back, have both tried to play football, and it's nice to see. It's how I like to play the game, but at the end of the day, it gives us something different to think about in every game. Um, I think every opponent's obviously different, and we'll try different things and create different challenges.
And you scored your first goal at the weekend. How pleased were you to get off the mark nice and early?
Yeah, it was pleasing. Obviously first goal in pre-season with my first touch was nice, but then to get that first one in the league was very nice. It was nice and easy, which is always a good start. I had a chance previously actually. I thought I was miles offside, and looking back, it was slightly different. So I was going to leave it and then sort of rush the chance because I thought I was offside. But yeah, to get that was nice. But I think if you watch the goal back, it comes from pressure high up the pitch again. I think it was Mandy and Dobbs put a good press in, and that sort of creates the error, and then it's a nice little tap in for myself.
You said a nice little tap in on first viewing. It looks quite a simple goal, but you've had to be on your toes, anticipating that little touch sort of beyond the keeper as well. Perhaps a little bit more difficult than what we thought on first viewing.
Yeah, thanks for that. I've not got much credit from the lads, to be fair. I tried to mention that, but that got discarded straight away. But yeah, it was an interesting one. I was almost going to sort of see if there was a bit of contact coming, but I saw the keeper sort of just pulled out a little bit, so it was important to get that little touch, and then yeah, that created the nice little tap in.
Not that you've had to wait long to score your first goal, but the longer it does go on for a striker, does it sort of play on your mind a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. I think people talk about targets and this and that, and I think for every striker, a new club or even just a new season, it's nice just to get that first one out of the way, just to take the pressure off a little bit. It's not necessarily something I was worrying about at all because I knew it would come. As long as the team's winning and I feel like I'm helping the side, then that's absolutely fine. But in terms of um, you know, just to get it off your back, just so people don't necessarily talk about it or question you about it, it's nice just to get out of the way.
And how have you found playing that lone striker role? I'm sure it's something that you've sort of played throughout your career, but how have you adapted to that?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think whenever I've played the best football in my career, it's been on my own. It's one of those positions where you do with the three behind and the quality behind. I'm solely dependent on them. I think, I'm not necessarily the type of striker who's going to get the ball, do 4 step overs, take on 2 defenders and stick it in the top corner. That's just not the player I am. But, with the quality we've got behind me, I know they'll create chances. I know they'll put crosses in the box, and, it's my job to be on the end of it. So it's been, a tiny bit frustrating in terms of opportunities. But, like I said, the quality behind and goals and assists that have been already for them, it's been good. So, my job's sometimes just to stay out of the way and occupy defenders, and that's been the case so far. But, I know that they'll create chances for me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've got quite a good understanding with those 3 attacking midfielders behind you now, or at least getting there?
It's definitely getting there. It's something that's just going to get stronger and stronger as we play together. I think in pre-season we saw a little bit of it, but then obviously, changing other teams and personnel sort of hinders that. But yeah, I think every day in training and in the 2 games we've played, that understanding is getting more and more. Obviously helps. I know Colclough from my Wigan days, Michael Jacobs as well. But yeah, I think there's so much quality there. The football understanding in the players around me is brilliant. So yeah, it's coming nice and quickly.
And so you're back on the road tomorrow night at Oxford City. What are you expecting from them down there? Newly promoted team to the division?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough challenge. They'll be full of confidence, like you said, having come up last season. I think, and for us, we're everyone's sort of biggest game of the season at the moment, so we're going to expect a really tough challenge again. Probably another different challenge to Dorking and Fylde. So it's another test. We have to obviously watch them, find out their strengths and weaknesses, which we've done, and try and create a game plan to try and break them down. They obviously had a tough game at the weekend. They lost sort of late on, but for us, it's just to concentrate on what we're doing. We know if we're on our game every game, then will be a tough challenge for everyone.
And it's a 3G pitch down there. Have you played many professional games on a 3G pitch? I know you've probably trained on it, but have you had many professional games on one?
No, I haven't played a professional game on it at all. So, it sounds funny, but that's a challenge in itself. It's something completely different. Like you said, I've trained on it before, and the bounce of the ball, the roll of the ball, and all these little things are completely different. So, it does change little bits, little touches, little passes. You do have to adapt to those conditions, but it's something we have to do. We should be good enough to be able to deal with it, and it's going to be a big challenge and a big test, but we're more than capable of dealing with it.
And just finally, I know this is a question that you've probably been asked hundreds of times, and I can already see on your face that you're anticipating what's coming. But we heard your song for the first time from the Chesterfield fans in the away end on Saturday. Got to ask you, do you like the song, or is it just a little bit? You've heard it a bit too often now.
No, it's something I enjoy. I think whenever you hear the fans singing your name, it's something that I personally absolutely love it. So yeah, like you said, after the goal was brilliant, and then I think we had a corner sort of late in the second half as well, and they started singing it again. It was it's a brilliant feeling. If I score a few more goals and get them singing it even more, that would be amazing.
Do you get people sort of coming up to you in the street and random places and singing it and that type of thing?
Yeah, it does happen. Years gone by, it's happened a lot. Not necessarily now. I think I lived in Manchester around the time of obviously the Man City goal and stuff like that. So that was big. But yeah, every now and then I'll get a fan or someone stopping me, and yeah, for whatever reason, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But no, it's something I enjoy. And like I said, if the more people are singing it, it's obviously I'm doing something right.